with. Say congratulations on making a great, short and sweet doc that summed up the scene pretty well. It's like, can you tell me, this is your first film, is it?
It is, yes, yeah.
Right, so why did you get into this? Why did you decide to dive into it?
Well, I've been doing the record label, we've got paid recordings, been doing that for nearly 25 years now. And me and Pete, my partner, were looking for something, yeah, just something different to do, something, yeah, a new challenge. And yeah, I don't know, I don't quite know where it came from. We had a meeting with Music Norway, who are a funding agency for cultural kind of music stuff in Norway. I threw a few ideas at him, and because we were looking for funding for Colm Forde, who's one of our acts.
Yeah.
And he didn't seem too keen on that, and then we started getting, yeah, throwing increasingly weird ideas at him. And one of them was making a film on Norwegian dance music, and he kind of went, yeah, that's a great idea, you should go and do it. So me and Pete laughed and kind of went, well, maybe we should have a go.
So it was just a random idea that became
something. I think I know where it came from. Yeah, and then we were like, oh no, this, yeah, maybe we should have a go at it. And then it's our first film, so yeah, we had nothing to lose really.
So what was the process like? Yeah, was it interesting?
Baptism of fire.
Wait, did you shoot it yourself? Or you had a
no, we hooked up with a guy from Tromsø,
right,
who was the first set of interviews. He did the filming, and we got on so well that we did it as a co-production. And also it meant we could access some of the Norwegian funding.
Right.
But yeah, it just kind of worked out. It was a pretty smooth process, really, all said and done.
So what? How many years are you talking about between?
About 3 years, 3.5 years.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So, like, how difficult was it to actually compete? Like, did you do a crowdfunder, or how was it?
We did a crowdfunding, yeah, raised about £15,000, which was, yeah, good. That was when we got our first indication of that there was a real interest in it. We were kind of building the fan base.
Yeah.
And slightly going back to your earlier question, we kind of fiddled around and did a lot of filming, and then we got a guy on as an executive producer, Pit Piper, who was who'd done a film called Last Shot Standing.
Yeah.
Because we obviously had no experience, and he went. We kind of had a meeting. He went, "Oh yeah, this is really doable. It's a really good idea. You can do it."
Did a bit of mentor.
Yeah, a bit of a mentor, and he kind of went. Because the deadlines kept shifting. He went. Yeah, there's the Bergen Film Festival where we premiered, and he went, oh, you could, it's like 9 months away, you could easily get it finished by then. So we kind of went, oh right, okay, it's someone else giving us the deadline, which maybe we finished it rather than filming it.
Laid a fire under you. Yeah. Cool. And so, in terms of you're a DJ yourself, is that right? And so, what got you into the scene? Which I'm going to ask Hans later, but like, why this scene? Or is it big on your radar before?
Yeah, well, we've as a label, we've always had a good contact with Norwegian dance music. We put a kind of one of the first, I guess, albums that really plumbed that sound. Those Norwegians with Torbjørn Butland, who went on to be in Borgstop, and Ruda Lindback.
So what year is this?
That was 94, 95.
Oh, right.
And when you listen to it now, and it's still got that psychedelic kind of wonky, shaky sound about it. And I've really like Norway, really like Scandinavia, and I got really excited when those first 10 inches started coming back from Bjorn Torsk and Erot, and it seemed really exciting, and it's always been quite strange for instance, it's all been quite exotic to me. It's kind of Arctic Circle, God, what's that like? And I don't know, it seemed like a long way away.
And did that pull you in then? You went travelling there to check out the scene, or like how did you kind of get involved in it?
No, we just kind of. There's an element of self-promotion to it because we've got Norwegian artists to it.
Right.
I mean, personally, it's kind of because I used to DJ abroad quite a bit, and now I don't. So it was a way of filling that gap of being able to. It was like an opportunity to think, oh, I can go and spent a lot of time in Norway, and that was...
At the time you were based in Manchester, is it? Or?
Yes, Hampton Bridge, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, Hans, better, what got you, what age were you, and what got you into producing? What was like the catalyst or the idea or the band or the scene or the moment what age were you that you started?
Well, I started playing classical piano when I was, I don't know, in early school.
Yeah.
And after like 4 or 5 years, I started playing in like, I don't know, in Norway we have like, well at least used to have like I'm from the west coast of Norway, and there's a big like a Christian community. So there's lots of like, I don't know, small like houses with I don't know, preachers and stuff like that, and also churches. And I used to like play in a church like related band and stuff like that.
This is when you're like 15, 16, or
yeah. And so that was, and actually I'm from a really small city or town outside of Stavanger on the west coast, and for some reason my friends who grew up at the same time as me, we really had a creative. It was really great growing up there musically because we were able to do lots of great stuff. But none of that was electronic music. That was just like, I don't know, everything from heavy metal to folk rock and all kinds of stuff, really.
So that's what you're listening to at the time, a bit of metal, a bit of
everything. I guess, everybody was listening to that kind of music when I was growing up.
So we're talking about the, early 90s or late 80s? Or
late 80s and maybe early 90s as well. But after I moved to Oslo for studying, I were exposed to clubbing culture and didn't understand anything of it, and just decided that I regard myself as somebody who has some kind of musical knowledge at least, but I couldn't understand what the club music was all about.
That was going to be my next question. What was your first experience of clubbing? Was it like an official, or was it an illegal kind of thing, or was it a house party, or was
I think I was too late. I think there were raves in Norway, but I was that was before I was starting to go out. But it was just like normal, just nightclubs. DJs were playing, and I met a lot of the guys like Prince Thomas and Strange Fruit, and they were playing, and started to play some records myself. And also bought a sampler, and were really listening to like especially the Ninja tune and stuff that were coming out from here. And so the sample cut and paste kind of stuff. And but after some years, I was kind of the link between like disco and the music that I was like used to when I was growing up, like the gospel music, were kind of like similar in a way, like the vocals and the uplifting stuff, and I think maybe that was maybe the link that I don't know, where like connecting my.
So in that sense, did you have like an affinity with the Chicago house kind of thing, or the gospel house kind of thing?
I guess maybe, but I didn't really know anything about the subgenres and stuff like that. I was just like listening to all kinds of stuff, but mostly like old disco, I guess, like everything from Boney M to like just like the cheesy and
the good cheese.
Yeah, the good cheese.
So what was your first experience like DJing? Was it my house party, or did you go straight into some kind of a bar club scene?
Actually, I was in this bedroom competition in Oslo at a place called Jazzid. And I happened to win that competition, and the first prize was releasing a 10-inch vinyl record, and then that was kind of the way how everything started.
So what year was this then?
That was, I think it was like 99 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember, like, in terms of when you actually decided to go kind of full on as a kind of a career, how did that process go from just being an enthusiast and producing to actually deciding, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it?
Well, I guess I was working with I was kind of like doing a label together with that guy from the Jazzid Club in Oslo, and but after a few years we decided to we didn't get along at all, and I was kind of like I didn't have anything, and I decided that I just started something similar because now I had knowledge to start a label, So I started my own label and put out a few 12 inches, and it was like picking up, and after a few years I got some DJ gigs, and things were just happening, and but it's been. It was like a really slow. It was not like the rock to the sky carry-on kind of thing.
Which kind of came along later on.
No,
sure.
it never. But that's a good thing.
Well, yeah. Well, to a certain extent, in the film, it's mentioned. I don't know what it was, probably around 2005 or something around that, when you were playing with Prince Thomas.
Yeah.
That's when I saw you, or when I first became aware of you in Dublin. It was about 2005. It was about you and Prince Thomas.
Yeah.
Around that time. I think it's Prince Thomas says it got a bit crazy or something in terms of your obligations, and you kind of shot it through after the BBC mix that you did. Yeah. Do you miss any of that, or you, like was that a bit too much, a bit too overwhelming?
Because me and my wife had like a 2-year-old kid around that time.
Okay.
And everything was just like going a little bit crazy for me as well, kind of, because it was not easy to combine like the career stuff with the family stuff. Sure. But I wasn't really interested in being like a superstar either. So after that, everything was kind of like slowing down, and I was able to. I mean, I remember going to New York playing like 5 gigs in I don't know, 10 days or something, and going back home with like $100 in my pockets, and you can. That's just like crazy. You can't do that and trying to make a living out of it. I just decided that everything has to be like organized, right, and.
So at the time you didn't have a manager or anything. It was just like going with the flow. And so okay, you weren't really coming out with the benefits of all the hours you were putting into it in terms of touring. A bit too much with the family.
Yeah, I guess.
And you played. I saw you played China recently. So how was that experience there?
Well, it was weird. I mean, it's great going to cities and countries I've never been to, or like faraway places. But except for the actual travel, the distance, it's great to meet people and stuff like that. But I played. It was like some weird EDM festival, and like the act before me was the guy who was singing on Kygo's Firestones or something. Just like totally outside my comfort zone musically. So
how did the crowd feel about your set?
Well, they were like. Well, the thing is, when I started playing, I'm just playing my own music. I don't DJ, so and usually the people who's booking me, they know what they get, I guess. But I don't know. When I started playing, there was this MC like cheering up, like
trying to get the crowd.
And I started
like
really,
hip-hop.
really, and I started like really slow, and he wasn't really able to.
Yeah.
And then after like half a song, I was just saying that. I don't know this guy. So I don't know. That's kind of.
Were they into it by the end?
Well, not really.
Well, you gotta get it slow and break them into this.
And the thing is, I needed to play like 2 gigs, like one the next day as well, like similar. So it was like, I don't know, but usually I don't do any of those gigs at all. Usually it's a lot more fun than that.
So maybe would the majority of your gigs take place in Europe, or is it?
Well, yeah, I guess, and I guess. Compared to the early years where everything was happening in clubs, now I feel like everything is some kind of festival.
Festivals.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Does anyone have a question for either?
Well, yeah. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you so much for making an astounding documentary. I just couldn't take my eyes from the screen the whole time. It was just wonderful to see that. So thank you. And just a really kind of interesting question, just from a personal perspective, is whether you think that, to both of you, whether you think that kind of advances in technology are kind of nurturing dance music or kind of killing it. I was just really interested about, the talk saying that clip where Toss was saying he had to create his own synthesizers and make his own radios and amps and things. Whereas now we just, you know, like they said themselves, we just have stuff on our phone. You know, we can make music on the bus home. You know, do you think that's a good thing for the future of electronic dance music, or is it kind of diluting it a little bit? Are you losing that kind of creativity and that sense of passion and struggle, I suppose?
I guess in a kind of I think it's difficult to form your own scene in a little bubble, which is kind of what happens in these kind of, certainly pre-internet, in that you can kind of, it's the in crowd, isn't it, like punk or grunge or this or anything. But now it's a little scene, it's just out there straight away. Now, you know, ups and downs. Yeah, who knows?
It's just my daughter, she's at university in London, and every time she comes home she just takes a big stack of old 90s mixtapes from clubs that we used to have up north, and I kind of be like, where's all these tapes gone? And she's playing them down there, and they just can't get enough of that really gritty sort of, you know, really pared back metallic kind of sound of a tape. And you know, I think you've got all this stuff out there on all these media platforms, and she will still nick all my Memorex tapes and take them down there, and they can't get enough of them. It's really interesting to me that I've kind of left it behind. I mean, I haven't been out clubbing for 20 years probably, and they can't get enough of it.
I think if you're starting out, if you're a producer or a DJ, it's never been, if you've got talent, it's never been easier to rise to the top, because you can, if you've got a killer track and you put it on SoundCloud, you know, it's potentially the kind of, it's just accessible to a lot of people, whereas, you know, back in the day, you would be like, I've done this track, and who do I send it to? Or you wouldn't know where to start. And but how do you put a record out?
But then again, if you were like really, really passionate and really, really wanted that, you just kill for it, giving it to the
exactly right. It was more work to do it.
Yeah, but now I mean, it's so easy, but at the same time, it's like tons of music.
There's a lot of noise around. That's the problem, I think. It's the same with filmmaking. It's the same with being discovered with a short film. There's so much noise out there, which is great for consumers, but distracting, I think, because you can just, between social media and what's available for free, between music and film, it can be a bit on the other side of what you're saying. And sound it can be hard on the other side to be discovered because there's so much distraction going on.
Well, it's like you need the filters, which is what record labels do. And they basically, you know, you're buying into someone's taste essentially. And it's interesting that going back to those radios, it's kind of it's something she's found, or you know, there's something quite kind of that no one else has got. There's unique about them, rather, as you say, rather than just going on and a gazillion mixes on the same.
Well, I'm quite cross because I'll never see them again. They'll never come back. And
digitise them.
She'll have to do that for me. I don't know how to do it.
So your daughter has a Walkman, or what's going on?
I've no idea how she does it. She'll have some gadget that makes them, brings them back to life. I'm not so sure, but
So any other questions there? Yeah.
I have one. I would like to ask. I know that you collaborate. You are Norwegian artists always collaborate to each other. Like you have done a lot of productions, like collaborating to each other. And I was wondering, is it because of the particularity of the sound, of the so unique sound of Norwegian scene, that it's so hard to find collaboration with other artists on the other? I mean, I know that Totarji collaborated with Brian Ferry, but I didn't see a lot of collaborations with other artists on the other side of the world. Is it because of the particularity of the sound, of the unique sound of disco, space disco, that it's hard to find like, a way to, like, I don't know, like to have collaboration with other artists? Or if there is one artist or scene that you like to collaborate with, which is?
I don't know. For me, it's those people I've been collaborating with are usually people that I mean, the best is if you can meet the guy every day. I mean, my studio has been just like next door to Prince Thomas and Todd Terry since 10 years or something. So it's really easy to just knock on the door and do something, even though we should probably do more because we haven't done that much together, I guess. But that's, I mean, and these days it's much easier to just like send files to wherever in the world, really. Like when me and when me and a friend did an album with Todd Rundgren, who lives in Hawaii now. We met him just like twice, and we had like 1 day or 2 days in the studio when he was in Oslo doing a tour. And other than that, we were just like exchanging files, and that's good. But you don't really meet face to face and get to talk.
Yeah, it's not the same.
So for me, it's not the same. I mean, it can be good as well. It depends on I don't know. If I think I prefer doing stuff when you can meet the people.
So with friends
like,
as well.
yeah, with friends, and when it's like when this all this like the social, like the relation stuff is working good as well. And I don't know. But I'm just speaking for myself, I guess.
Yeah. It's related in some way with their question. Like the technology can be useful, but in some way lost the passion of like.
I mean,
really
just
meeting.
like doing a Skype or something and discussing ideas is not the same
it's a good
because
side.
you lose like the direct relationship.
And so in terms of Todd Rundgren, where did that come along? Were you a fan of his stuff?
Yeah, I've been a fan of his, and it was Joachim from the movie
All right.
who were asking him to be part of the like a Norwegian conference called like a music conference called Bylarm.
Yeah.
And and he was positive as long as he could get like business flights from Hawaii and do a tour in Scandinavia and do this talking thing, and also he wanted to produce or work with somebody, and it ended up being like a thing we did, or me and a guy from a Norwegian band called Serena Manish.
Okay. Yeah.
Who did the album together with him. Yeah.
So Todd's a bit of a under the radar character, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big musician,
Yeah.
Producer or musician, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have that many on the ground. I don't know, maybe not here. I know a few radio DJs like him a lot. I hear of it now, but in terms of friends of mine and other people, he's not as well known maybe as he should be.
No.
So how was that? Was it interesting
Well,
to work
I think
with
it's
him?
interesting because I kind of, in a way, I think he's one of those like guys I really like, because I've been always a fan of doing everything myself, and I've always been a fan of other people like that as well, like Prince and Stevie Wonder and
like multi-instrumentalist, basically. Yeah.
Todd Rundgren. Everybody was doing like everything, and I don't know. I've always
Self-contained kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was interesting meeting him. We went to Hawaii to live in his house for a week after the album. We were there to do some promo and stuff, and it was interesting to get to know him, and I don't know. It's just like thing is, when you meet somebody, you just seen some YouTube clips from a TV show from '72 or something, where he wears like crazy outfits and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you heard about lots of quotes from other people, or like people saying he's like a weird guy, or he's like I don't know, he's like a crazy guy or whatever. And then you meet him and he's just like super boring guy, kind of, just like
he's a regular guy,
just like my father.
Cool.
And it's
in a good way.
in a good way, but it's also kind of like after that. The thing is, like, you kind of lose. Sometimes
you met your hero.
Yeah. Sometimes you really want to have the distance. Like you want like your heroes up there, and then you meet them, and then you realize they're just like normal.
So this kind of
he's a great guy.
Leading on from the questions, into what you just mentioned, is there anyone that you like haven't collaborated with would be kind of a fantasy that you'd love to kind of?
Not really. Often Todd Rundgren.
That's it. That was it. Fair enough. Great. Cool. So, what are you working on at the moment? Have you got many projects in the background there, kind of?
I'm trying to finish an album. So I guess it will be an album, and I'm hoping to finish it before summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all self-contained as well? Have you been working on?
Well, looks like 2 or 3 songs will be with other people, and I haven't really I've done stuff with Prince Thomas, and I've done stuff with Tal Rundgren, and I haven't really done like an album with my own stuff, and then a few features here and there. But thing is, there's some vocals, and I don't really feel that confident doing that myself. So sometimes it's good to
bring somebody else in. So Ben, so your overall experience of doing this over 3 odd years or 4 years, does it put you off it for a while, or you got anything in the background you'd like to develop yourself in terms of diving back in?
Well, it's been nice to get some time back in the studio, so that's been good. But then I've got a really good idea for the next one, so I'm like, oh, and then I want to kind of start doing it, but then I just realise it's like the whole roller coaster begins again. So I'm kind of doing some reading up and everything, and then I'll a couple of months time.
And the really good idea is too secret to mention at the moment, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to check it out and check the various people involved who are up for it.
Right. Well, from having dived into it, is there anything that you wish you'd known that you hadn't at the time that you could have, if there was anybody out there who thinking about making a film of any description that you did?
Yeah, that's why I look back, having to think about the next film, I'm like, I kind of wish I had been naive. We had absolutely nothing to lose in that whole go for it, whereas the next one was a bit, I feel like we'll have to do it in a different way, and I feel like the pressure will be on and I'll know what I'm doing, which is not necessarily a good thing.
The second album trouble.
Yeah, exactly,
Right.
So the next one won't be as good as this one, that's really
good. Well, the next one's going to take 10 years instead of 3.
It'll take 10 years and cost twice as much. Don't like it,
Hans, in terms of the same kind of thing, like, is there, like, how many years have you been at this from what you could kind of say professionally? Like, how long have you had a career in music at this stage?
Well, I think it's closing. It's nearing almost 20 years.
Okay. So is there anything that, in terms of knowledge or wisdom, is there something you wish you had known 20 years ago that you kind of like?
I'm a little bit like you. Like in the beginning, when you start, you're so naive and
in a good way.
You know, in a good way, and you don't know any of the unwritten or written rules about how to do this, and then you just do whatever you like to do, and then it can be really bad, but it also can be really good because it's fresh, and it's from somebody who's thinking different thoughts.
Yeah.
So
So it's good in a way that it's actually just diving into it is the best way to do it. Then, is it? In terms of not hesitating.
Yeah.
Cool. So have you played in Hull before?
No.
So you're playing tonight at City Hall, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So what can the audience expect
well,
tonight?
I'm usually playing some old stuff and some new stuff and some unreleased stuff as well, some common stuff. So it's a mixture of and I'm doing I don't have a band or something. It's just me and a laptop. So it's. You
were never interested in DJing yourself?
Well, the thing is, I started DJing and working with computers because I was tired of playing in bands. So I don't really feel for doing touring again. Really.
Right. So any final question out there before we wrap it up? No? Yes?
I think I just have to end with the same as the at the end of the film. What's your favourite Norwegian dance track, surely?
What?
Me? We're both dead.
Well, actually, you just asked me the question today, and I didn't know what to answer. It's impossible for me to say. I mean, I don't know really. There's so many.
All right. Well, fair enough. We'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you.